Well, hello everyone. It's Joni here at Joni's Journals, and I am back doing my third video today. I wanted to make sure I got all of these done and that I set them out for during the week so that you guys would have something to look at and I could show you all of these pretty projects. And I'm not saying that because I made them. I'm saying that because I have borrowed them from Cara Renee at Be Reborn Art and Healing. She and I are members of a couple of the same crafty groups on Facebook, and she's been just coming up with some really pretty things lately, things that have caught my attention. Okay, now what we are going to do today is we are going to make what I am calling a multi-pocket journaling tag. She definitely has another name for it, but that's okay. We're going to use that one. Now, you may have seen in my video either yesterday or the day before where I made these little belly bands, and this was also an idea from Cara Renee that I borrowed, and they have little journaling spots inside, and they have pockets and tags on the outside. And the kit that I used to create them was the Arden Creative Studio Hidden Creek paper pad, designed by Katie Petite, and I know I'm probably pronouncing that wrong, designs. And we're going to use this paper. Again, I had originally seen Crafty by Tony using this paper pad in one of her videos, and I just had to have it. It is just so pretty. So I've been using it. I will link the paper pad in the description box below. I can't remember at this point if I bought it on Simon Says Stamp or scrapbook.com, but I will put the proper link in for you. So we have this little piece here. And then we have this beauty here. Now, again, this was one of Cara Renee's other ideas. And I seem to have forgotten to put tags in here. But I will borrow them from this one just so I can show you. This one's a multi-pocket journaling tag. And it has a pocket here, okay? It also has a little side pocket here where you can put in tags. And then it has, I'm going to open it up. Now, this is going to be bright white, but it has all of this journaling space inside of it. And then when we flip it over on the back, it has another set of pockets. You have a pocket here, okay? And again, we have a pocket here on the side, okay? And I wish I had created the tags, but I hadn't done them yet. And I apologize because that was something I was supposed to do this morning. Now I'm just tucking my little tag back in here. Okay, like so, okay. This is my prototype. Now you can see I've got a ton of measurements on here and all sorts of things. And I made this, and this one was good, but I only left 1/4 of an inch gusset on each side to be able to tuck tags in. And it made the pockets kind of tight. So then what I did was, on the other side, I did another prototype. And for this one, yes, this is upside down, but I made a 1/2 inch gusset. And you can see that there's a lot more room. And if this was done down, you would glued down rather, you would see. But I put a 1/2 inch gusset, which gave us more room to tuck stuff into. So this is the measurements that I'm going to go by, and these are the measurements that I'm going to give you, and those are the ones with the 1/2 inch gusset. In this one, we're going to use craft stock, okay? Because I just thought that it would be a little bit, shall we say, grungier in a sense. And I've already cut out my pockets and my tag to decorate the outside of it, and I will give you all of the measurements as we go along. Okay, to start with, our base finished is going to be, let me grab my tag booklet back. Hang on, guys. Okay. This is 4.5 inches wide by 7 inches high, okay? And then we cut our little tag shapes off the corner. So in order to achieve that, you want a piece that is 9 inches wide by 7 inches high. And then we're going to score it. So I'm going to grab out my little scoreboard here. And what we're going to do is we're just going to score down the center at 4.5. Okay, so we're going to go like that, and we're going to score, and we're going to fold it in half, and with any luck, it will be straight, okay? And it appears to be, but let's just check it, and if need be, nope, it's pretty good. Okay, now I have a mess on my desk as well, and I seem to have, oh, nope, there it is. Thought I misplaced my bone folder. So we're just going to crease that down like so. And we're going to grab our vintage photo and we're going to ink that crease, okay, like so. Okay, I'm going to do it really quickly so you guys don't have to sit here and watch paint dry. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to open it up and I'm going to ink the inside as well. Okay, like so, okay, just so this way it looks a little bit grungier when you open it up, okay? Then what we are going to do is we are going to take my little credit card piece here, okay? It was a gift card. It's one of those vanilla cards that you can reuse, but I tend not to reuse them. And we're going to line it up. Now, did I want a shorter tag corner or do I want a wider one? I think we're going to use the shorter one. Okay, so we're going to line up our little credit card here and we're going to try and find my scissors on my desk. And I'm just going to make sure that this is straight and I'm going to cut out my little corners like so. Okay, and then we're going to flip it over to the other side, okay? And we are going to make sure it's straight, and we're going to cut our corner on that side. So now we have our tag-shaped base, which we're going to ink up the corners like so. I know it's vintage photo, and you can barely see it on the craft stock, but it gives us just enough color to make it interesting, okay? And we never really inked up those edges. Let me grab my vintage photo and get some more ink on my little dauber here. And we're going to ink over here and across there and down the sides as well. Yeah, I've been watching Cara Renee posts when she has a new video out making new things. And I know she's doing a beginner journal series as well. So you guys might want to, if you're a beginner or even if you're not, you can always watch and learn some new things. Okay, so now we have our base done. And I'm going to put that over here right now. And then what you're going to need are, for your pockets, you're going to need to cut 2 pieces of paper that are, let me get my ruler because I have so many measurements going on in my head. They are 4.5 inches across and they are 5.5 inches long. Okay, those are going to create these little front pockets right here. Okay, this pocket right here in the front and also in the back here. We're going to have those 2 little pockets. And then what you're going to do in order to create, I'm not going to throw all of the measurements at you at once. I'm going to create my pockets. No, you know what? I think I'll do the front and back of the journal first. Okay, so let's do that instead. Okay, in order to make the pieces that will be your covering tags for the outside of your little multi-pocket journaling tag, excuse me, you're going to need 2 pieces of paper, one for the front and one for the back, and they are going to need to be 4 1/4 inches wide by 6 3/4 inches high. So we have a little edge around the outside of our tag, okay? Just like so. And then what you're going to do is you're also going to cut little tag edges into each of your corners, just like you did for your little journal. So we're going to grab our tag corner maker, and I'm going to check back just to make sure. Yes, I know we only did it 2 seconds ago. Okay, this is the corner we want to use. So we are going to cut a tag corner on one side of our paper, making sure this is straight. So I'm going to grab my scissor and I am going to cut one corner off. I'm going to flip the card over and I am going to cut. I'm going to make sure it's straight. I can't emphasize that enough. And we're going to cut the other corner off. Then we're going to ink, but I want to show you that this is how it's going to look when you glue it down to the front of your little journaling spot, okay? Your corners are going to each have a little bit showing for a border, okay? We're going to do that on this one as well. Grab a hold of it. Oh, goodness gracious. Come on. There we go. Okay. And once again, I'm just going to check to make sure that I'm using the right corner, okay? We're going to line it up, be sure it's straight, and we're going to cut off our corners. See, this is not straight. There we go. Okay. We're going to cut off one corner, like so. We're going to flip the card over, making sure it's straight. And we're going to cut off the other corner, like so. And again, just to show you, it's correct. And we have a border around all 4 sides. Okay. Now we're going to get rid of that. And we are going to grab our ink. And we're going to ink around all the edges on our covering papers here. Okay. Ink a little there. And then we're just going to ink here. You could, of course, use a different color, but I like the vintage photo. And so that's what we're going to use. Okay. Then I think what we'll do next is we will glue these pieces down so that they have a little bit of time to dry before we start adding our pockets. Okay. All right. Now, let's put this away. And let's just move our scoreboard over and get some of this out of the way. And then we'll grab back our tag. Now, I do like the stripe, so I think I'm going to put that on the front of my tag. So we're going to add some glue to it, like so. You can see this paper is just simply gorgeous. All right, let's see. And it does have, these are the pages you can see here on the back. It comes with 2 pieces, two pages of each of the patterns, and 2 pages have the little mini tags, and I guess you could use them as decoration too on whatever you happen to be making. I tend not to really use those pages when I buy scrapbook paper. So I'm using the other side, which is this stripe, okay? And I'm just gonna lay this down and I'm gonna make sure that it's straight. I'm also going to make sure that it's even, and it could actually come over a little bit further on our front, okay? Make sure it's up enough and that it's straight, like so. And it seems to be. And so now I'm going to lay it down onto my tag and just press it down. And then we're going to do the same thing on the back. We're going to glue this piece down. Make sure there's plenty of glue. Always make sure that you glue your edges because you don't want your edges to peel up. If your centers are a little bit, you know, less glue than you might want, that's okay, but you want to make sure that the edges are glued. Okay, and we're going to start on this side. Make sure it's even. Make sure it's straight, rather. Make sure that it's even. Now, are they even with each other? No, they're not. And that's okay if they're not, but I like them when you flip it open to be at the same point, top to bottom. Side to side doesn't really bother me too much, but I do want top to bottom to be even. And that looks pretty good, okay? Now you could, if you wanted to, you know, make pockets and add pockets to the inside or, you know, decorate your inside. I'm leaving mine blank because we do want to have space to journal on, okay? I'm just going to push this down again. Now what we're going to do is I have picked out other pages from the kit to create our large pocket and to create our small pocket. And again, you can see these backs are absolutely stunning, okay? Now, I did pick this one to go with the stripe and this plaid to go with the stripe as well. So these are going to be our pockets for the front. And then for the back, I picked this pretty green, which you can see matches just a bit, and also this pretty pattern paper. This is the small pocket and this is the big pocket, okay? I'm going to give you the measurements for both, and then we'll get started scoring to create our pockets. Now, the little pockets, and I have to move my piece of paper, move my scoreboard. The little pockets begin at 4.5, and let me get my ruler just to verify that I have it correct. They are 4.5 wide by 5.5 high. And why did I do that? Okay, so they're 4.5 high by, 4.5 wide by 5.5 high, okay? And our larger pockets are 4 and, what did I do? Boy, I did my measurements completely different. Okay, well, we'll go with it. They're 4 3/4 inches wide by 6 I know what I did. By 6 3/4 inches high. I know exactly what I did. Okay, so once again, the small ones are 4.5 inches wide by 5.5 inches high, and the big ones are 4 3/4 inches wide by 6 3/4 inches high. Now, what you are going to do, and I'm going to tell you this from experience, this pocket is going to go on the front of our journal, and this pocket is going to go on the back of our journal. Now, in this case, it doesn't really make a difference But if you're using patterned paper like I am here, and in this case, this pattern could go either way. It could go that way or it could go this way. But I like my little beige butterflies, or moths, I should say, flying up. Okay, so this is the way your pattern goes. Now you do want to be sure that when you put your thumb notch in, that you're putting your pattern paper on correctly and that you're making your thumb notch on the correct side. So this one's going in the front, so our thumb notch is going to be on the right-hand side of our pocket. This one is going in the back, and you want your thumb notch to be on the left-hand side of your pocket. Okay, just remember that, especially if you're using patterned paper. All right, so let's work on our front pockets first. Okay. Now, because it's a side entering pocket, you want to do the top, one long side, and the bottom. So what we're going to do is we are going to score our pocket at 1/2 inch on the side, like so, okay, and go down again. Then we're going to score our top at 1/2 inch, okay, across the top, even though we're technically going across the side. And then you want to turn it around, excuse me, and you want to score the bottom at 1/2 inch as well. This will give us that nice deep gusset that I was talking about, so you have plenty of room to put stuff inside. Okay, now I'm just going to fold over my score lines, and I'm going to ink, and you'll see why in just a second. Okay, I'm going to fold over this score line like so, and I'm going to ink again. First, I want to be sure that all my edges are inked, but there is a method to my madness, okay? And then we're going to fold up the bottom score line, and we're going to ink like so. And the reason that we're inking right away is because we want to get rid of the bulk, okay? So we are going to cut off that corner, and we're going to cut off that corner. It's sort of like when we made our envelopes. We cut away the bulk, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut right to this little corner right here, okay? And I'll bring that up. It's this corner right here, okay? So we're going to cut across right at that corner, all right? This way, when we fold it over, we have less bulk and we have a sharp corner, okay? I'm going to do that on this side as well. Remember, you're going to cut right at this corner. So we're going to do that like so. And again, when we fold it over, we have a nice sharp, excuse me, sharp corner, okay? So that is our first large pocket. And I'm just going to show you that will be going on to the front of our little multi-pocket journaling tag, okay? So I'm going to put these two pieces aside, and then I'm going to show you how to create your small pocket, which will go in the front. Now, you can, again, this is not patterned paper, so you can pick whichever side you want to be the top and whichever side you want to be the bottom. Now, there is a little bit of writing on here, and I'll be darned if I can even see it. But normally, I would want to make sure that my writing is facing in the correct direction. And what you're going to do is you're going to score at 1/2 inch, okay, on both sides. In this case, I'm doing it because this is 4.5 inches wide, so I've come back to score at 4. And on this side, I'm going to score at 1/2 inch, okay, like so. Then I'm going to turn it around. Remember, if it's directional, you want to make sure your bottom is on the correct side of your pocket. And this can be my bottom or this can be the bottom. It doesn't really matter in this case. But I do have all of this writing up here, so I think I'm going to use the plainer end as the bottom of my pocket. okay? And you're going to score a 1/2 inch across the bottom. Now, you could, of course, make smaller gussets if you wanted, but like I said, I wanted to be sure that there was enough room to tuck tags in and not be bumping into the sides of my pocket, or rather not have enough room to tuck things into the pocket. Okay, tuck a multitude of things into the pocket. And again, here I'm going to go around and I'm going to ink our score lines. And we are once again, I'm going to grab the top so I don't stick my sleeve in my ink. We are once again going to cut off this bulk. Okay, again, same thing. You're going to go right up to that corner right there. Okay, and I'm just going to cut it off. And I'm going to do the same thing on this side. And I'm going to cut it off. And this way you have a nice sharp corner with no bulk. Now, up at the top, we also want to get rid of a little bit of bulk. So we're going to put a little snip here. You're going to cut from, I want to say maybe 1/4 inch down from the top. You're going to cut at an angle, like so, up to your score mark. And here we're going to go in the opposite direction. We're going to cut from our score mark down about 1/4 inch from the top. And this way, there's no bulk up here, and there's no bulk on the bottom. All right? Now, I'm not going to make you sit through doing that again, but I am going to tell you, I'm going to show you, this is patterned paper. So we want to score here across the bottom for the bottom of our pocket. And when I come back, I'm going to have these two done, and then we're going to put our little thumb holes in. Okay, so I'll be right back.